The last time I was with you, we showed you how to pick the D scale, major scale, with harmonizing strings. And today, I want to tell you my thinking behind what we did. Let me show you a sample of what we did. In my early days, I learned many of the Chet Atkins licks and tried to incorporate them in my playing. And when it was time to perform, I realized I couldn't remember one of them. And so I had to revert back to my old stuff. I thought I had memorized them. I played them okay privately. But when it was time to perform, my memory just went out the door. When I could remember them, it sounded too mechanical. Chet Atkins said, "You can't learn a lick or know a lick until you've done it 1,000 times. Repetition. Getting the thing or the lick down in your subconscious to where you can do it without thinking. If you have to think about it, then you don't know it. If you've got to think where to place my fingers, what do you do next, the thumb, which finger, you're going to struggle. Doing these licks has to be second nature. You don't want to have to be thinking about it. You don't want to think about anything but phrasing and the smoothness. Personally, I never have any professional training. I guess you can tell that by the way I talk. I don't know all the technical terms in music. Never took music. So I'm self-taught. When I started recording CDs, I was introduced to the Nashville number system. And I want to look at that right now. Now I want to show you the major scale on this marker board. We have the 1, the 2 minor, 3 minor, 4, the 5, the 6 minor, 7 flat, and the 1. This is the major scale. So, if you're playing in D like we are, that makes the 1 the D chord. And the 4 is the G chord. And the 5 is the A chord. That's the way it works. But all this other stuff, to me, sometimes gets confusing. It was hard for me to memorize all this stuff because I'm simple-minded. And so I had to look at it different. I had to look at it with a simple mind, like I have. Something I could remember. So I simplified it, and I did it like this. Okay, this is the way I can remember. I can remember something simpler like this. Just these bunch of 4 and 5s, a bunch of G's and A's in this scale. Maybe 1 7 flat in this. Actually, going down this way on your neck, I'd do it this way and coming back, probably this way. Or the other way, I don't know. Either way, it don't really matter. But the way I do my scales, matter of fact, the scale that we showed you previously was done this way. And I bet you could not tell the difference between that and this major scale right here. Maybe some of you could. But what I call this here is, it's my fake major scale. And so really, when you hear me play, I'm really faking it. Someone said, man, how do you do that? I said, I don't know. I'm just faking it. That's all I do is fake it. And people hear me play, they say, man, that's pretty awesome. But I want to show you what I'm talking about on the guitar, and it will make sense to you. I don't know how it works, but it does. And it sure sounds like a major scale. So let's look at that. I want to show you that scale again and show you what I'm talking about. That most of this scale is a bunch of 4 and 5s. If we're playing in D, that being a 1, that means that these 4 and 5s is A and G, which makes it much more simple. Let me show you what I'm talking about. We started right here, which is the 1. We go back here, that might be the 7 flat. Back to the 1. Now here we go with the 4s and 5s. Here's the 5. Here's the 4. Uh-oh. Here's the 5. Back to the 4. G. Back to the 5. A. And the 7 flat. And then back to the 1. Forget all those other things. Now here we go right here. Now all that was a bunch of 4 and 5. Watch this. Here we go with the 1, 7 flat, back to the 1. Here's the 4, 5, 4, 5, 4, 5, the 1. Now, let's say you're up here in D now, and you want to get back, and you can't remember the scale. I do this a lot. When I can't, I try not to think while I'm playing. And so if I'm up here and I want to get back down here, here's what I do. I just start hitting a bunch of 5s and 4s. Watch this. Here's the 1. Here's the 5. A. Here's the 4. G. 5A, 4, G, 5, that may be a 7 flat, so like this. And that sounded like a major scale, and I was hitting a bunch of 4 and 5s, a bunch of A's and G's. Makes it much more simpler. And you know, since it's simple, back and forth 4s and 5s and 5s and 4s, whatever, since I know that, then I can start doing anything I want and think about other things, like make it a little fancy, like this. Makes it much easier to me to remember and play. Now think about that. Now take what you've learned and put it to practice. And it's so simple. It's amazing. Once I learned that kind of technique about playing, it just revolutionized my playing. Made things so much simple and easier for me to understand and play. Now you heard me play. Now try it. It works. See you next time.